Hello. Happy Thursday. It's Awesome Sauce Day. It's time for tomatoes, my favorite day of the week. Hi there, my name's Lauren, otherwise known as Mrs. Tomato Head. Welcome to my weekly show where I babble on about tomatoes for a couple hours. I bring you guys into the conversation. We have a lot of fun. We are airing live. Today is Thursday, August 13th. Those of you watching the recording, obviously it's not live. But for those of you here, very happy to have you here. You never know what's going to happen. Last week during the show, I had a groundhog come to two of my windows. He went over there and he was like waving hello at me, and then he went over here. I actually managed to capture like 3 seconds of it on my phone, and I was able to share it in my group. For those of you that may not know, I run a group with Jen, Joy, and Kina Tonarud called Tomato Lovers Collective on Facebook. We're a wonderful community full of very passionate and kind and generous tomato lovers. So I shared it in the group, and my point is you just never know because we're live what is going to happen. You know, we can have cat antics. I shared in the group this morning after I went to bed last night. Hopper and Rue, my 6-month-old kittens, got into a tomato. Rue is white, partially white, and his back is stained from a tomato. It was like a massacre. It was hilarious. I woke up early this morning. I go to bed earlier than him. I go to bed earlier. I wake up earlier. He comes down and he said, "Sorry about your tomatoes." Didn't really know what he was talking about. I had left a cut up tomato that we had tasted, but I hadn't seeded it yet on this cutting board, which is where we usually cut them up. And it was in a bowl, and I hadn't had a chance to seed it yet. I was tired. I wanted to go to bed, so I put like one of those tents you put on picnic tables to keep the bugs out and stuff. I put that over it, which was a bad move, honestly. Like when you think about it, if you have kittens, of course that's going to look attractive. But anyway, so I put the tent over it, and then when I woke up this morning, the tomato was still there, although the tomato was like flesh side down on the cutting board where I had it in a bowl. Didn't really think much of it. I mean, I was pretty bleary-eyed. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. But apparently, not long after I went to bed, Rob heard a crash, and tomato on the floor on top of Rue. Hopper was actually eating the tomato. I've never known of a cat to eat a tomato, but I'm glad it's one of my cats, if I'm being honest. And it was a good one. It was called Gascon. So anyway, you never know what's going to happen live. The cats are they're always getting into fun antics. Happy to have you here with me today. I'm hyper today, aren't I? Did I already say it's Thursday, August 13th? I'm not sure if I did. 2026. I've got some tasting to do today and to share with you some awesome sauce tomatoes like I have behind me here. I've got, I'm going to be talking about all three of these today. I'm going to be tasting some things for the first time. 1, 2, 3 or maybe 4 things for the first time. Others, I'll be talking about stuff that we've tasted either over the past week. Yeah, I think they've all been over the past week that have really been something special that I wanted to share with you all. We've got some announcements before I get to your comments. If you're new here, you want to watch the show with a notebook and pen in hand because you may find some things that you are looking to put on your 2027 grow list. So you can write the variety name down in Tomato Lovers Collective and swap each Saturday. We have a post called Seed Seeking Saturday where you can post up to 5 new varieties each week that you're looking for, or it can be the same 5 ones every week until you get them. It does slow down a bit in the summer. Everybody's kind of busy with their gardens. Well, on this side of the world, people in Australia and in Asia are not, but on this side of the world they are. But it will pick up again in the fall. So have no fear if your varieties are not granted. I'm sure they will be, unless it's something super obscure. But in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, I don't know, obscure is not even a real thing anymore. I mean, people are getting these really crazy obscure varieties and growing them and saving seeds, and I hope to be one of those people. I love to grant wishes. What else? I want to thank Jen and Jamie, Jen Fox, Jamie Hill, and everybody that went to the West Coast Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap tomato tasting and seed swap last weekend. It looks like it was a huge success for everybody that donated prizes and all of that. It looked like a really fun time. It was their first time doing it. And I know it's a lot of work and exhausting. I speak from experience. So thank you all. And thanks to those of you who went. It sounds like everybody had a great time. One of these days, hopefully, if you do it again, maybe next year I can actually attend. It looks like a great time. For those of you on the other side of the United States, we are only 2 weeks away, 2 weeks from tomorrow, away from our East Coast, our second annual tomato tasting and seed swap. This is in Carlisle, Pennsylvania at Latort Park from 12 to 6. And if you plan on going, will you please private message me and let me know? I will add you to our group chat. Just starting to talk about different ideas and stuff. Jen and I are talking amongst ourselves, of course, but for anybody looking for ideas, we did have a great time last year, always looking to build on that and improve for sure. So I can't believe it's only 2 weeks away. We will be doing a bit of a live stream again. I'm thinking this time, maybe Jen and I need to run this by her, get her thoughts, but rather than stream to YouTube, which can be a bit of a pain, since it is a Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap event, officially, I don't know. Now I'm thinking out loud here. It might be easier just to do a Facebook Live into the group, but then there's those of you who watch on YouTube that aren't members of the group for whatever reason. I want you to be able to take part in it too. I'll figure it out. Just the internet is super sketchy there, and we may have a bit easier time doing a Facebook Live. I don't know. We'll think about it. I don't want to leave anybody out, but we'll do it for a little while. We probably won't do an hour long, but we'll do, Jamie did a short one for us, and I appreciate that, where she took us around to see the setup and all that, which was super cool. So I hope you guys can make it. It was a great time last year. This is our 5th or 6th event in Carlisle. I think 6th event. Which is the halfway point between me in New Jersey and Jen in West Virginia. It's the exact halfway point, 2.5 hours for each of us. And we have people coming from all over. At our plant swap in the spring, we had somebody coming from California. We had Florida. We've had Missouri. We've had New Hampshire. People come from all over. So we hope Illinois. John Kramer comes from Illinois. So hope you guys can make it. It's a good time. And for those of you who are nowhere near either one of us and can't make that, consider doing your own tomato tasting and seed swap. It can be anything you want it to be. You can have a small event, take inventory of who lives by you, and maybe just a couple of you can get together and do a tomato tasting. It's so much fun. The bonds that you make with these people who perhaps you've talked to online and done trades with before is fantastic. And it's always great to taste tomatoes and swap seeds with others in real life too. Let's get to some comments before I've got other announcements too, but let's see who's here before I get too far behind. Sherman was number 1. Hey, Sherman. We're going to miss you in Carlisle, Sherman. Sherman has always been a staple at Carlisle and always the first one to join us. We've been missing. We missed you at the plant swap. We'll miss you again this time. Excited for another educational, entertaining, awesome sauce. Well, I hope it's entertaining. It's going to be delicious, I'll tell you that. I've tasted some good tomatoes lately. Really good. I'm going to tell you about a handful of them today. Yeah, it's been a strange season for me. A lot of cuckoos or things not true to type for various reasons. Perhaps they're not stable yet, or just getting not what it's supposed to be. I've got Septoria in my garden, which I get every year. It's not affecting at all the yield of the tomatoes or the taste of them, thankfully. And, the tops of my plants are nice and green, but I also lost a tree. If you guys remember, if you follow my garden tours and follow me in the group, we lost a tree to a storm that nearly took out one of my beds. It was a miracle it didn't. So the shade that tree put off definitely affected that bed kind of cooking in the heat. So I think next year I'm going to finally probably long overdue. Try some shade cloth and see how that works, because there's like a couple rows of the plants that are really just done. They cooked. I let them cook, but shade cloth would have prevented that for sure. Septoria doesn't help, but shade cloth would have done the trick. So, I've been growing for a very long time, over 30 years, and I'm always still learning too. I think every year is a learning experience for sure. So always open to trying new things. Oh, by the way, we've got a lot of great prizes to give away today. For those of you who've never attended before, all you have to do is type in hashtag tomato in the comments. Only once. I'll do the drawings at the end of the show. We've got some wonderful donations today. Kids Seed Company is donating some seed prizes. Helena from Meraki Seeds, Kim Wallace, Olivia Lai, and Teresa Begin. So thank you all so much for your generous donations, as always. Who else do we have? Susan's here. Sherman beat you out by an hour, Susan. It's usually between the two of them who's number one. Hey, Leslie. Leslie's number 3. And we've got Tara Dove. Hello, everybody. It's Happiness Day. The tomatoes have landed. Yay! The tomatoes have landed. We've got Terry here. Hey, Terry. Nice to see you. And we've got Linda and Drew and Crystal. I know I'll also be seeing Drew and Carlisle. Hi, Crystal. Got Rowena. Rowena, I'm talking about our tomato today. I'll be showing it. And actually, I'm going to taste another one too. Hey, Mariah, thanks for watching. And Becoming a Green Stalker is our friend Heidi. Hi, Heidi. And we've got Greg. You know what we were talking about earlier, Greg? I totally forgot about that until I just saw your name now. I could probably still do it if I run upstairs quickly. So here's what Greg and I were talking about earlier. We were talking about, he did a taste test of a couple varieties. That's not my place to share which varieties, but he was doing a taste off of 2 green When Ripes, my favorites. And he preferred one over another, which would be opposite of what, my taste were. And then we got into the whole conversation of how different climates affect taste. Obviously, we all have different taste buds. And I was also sharing with him that I've suspected this for a while, but I know it now to be a fact. Things that I grow in grow bags, I can grow the same variety in my in-ground bed and in a grow bag, and the things in the grow bags are sweeter. Always. Always. I haven't really found an instance where that hasn't been true. So I have 2 Mizuras upstairs. I have one that was grown in a grow bag. I have one that was grown in a raised bed, and I was going to do like a brick score and taste off between the 2. I could still do it if we have time. But they are definitely sweeter. Why is it? Is it because those are grown in Fox Farm Ocean Forest soil, which is very nutrient rich, versus my raised beds, which are nutrient rich, but perhaps not as much? Is it the space being more confined in a grow bag and the sugars are concentrated? That I don't know. You guys will have to let me know your theories. I'm thinking it's the Fox Farm. Because if I grow like a mini dwarf plant in a 1-gallon pot where it really should be like a 2-gallon, I don't believe those sugars get concentrated. So I'm thinking it's the growing medium. Things to ponder. Who else do we have? Melissa's here. Hey, Melissa. Happy Thursday to you. My shirt today by Inspired Garden Life is Professional Tomato Plant Enabler. Yes, you need that variety too. By our friends at Inspired Garden Life, who gave away a free t-shirt to everybody watching the show willing to fill out a survey last week. And it was a lot of you because they copied me on everybody who filled that out. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm really excited that so many of you are getting their shirts, but more blown away by their generosity. I mean, Tim and Darylyn, I don't know if you're watching or not, but what incredible people they are, huh? Just so, so generous. And I know they gave free t-shirts to everybody that went to the West Coast TLC tasting and seed swap last week. And they're also, for anybody coming to Carlisle, you have to let me know because you get a free t-shirt also. They're just they're just unreal. Last year they came to the tomato tasting seed swap. This year they've got I'm probably not at liberty to say, but they've got a conflict and they can't make it. But hopefully next year they'll be back. Who do we have here? Inspire Garden Life's number. I have to compete for #1 customer with Francis. Hey, Francis. I took a break from yard work just in time. Thanks for saving me from that 110 heat index. Woo, yikes. We have not are not having that. Actually, our weather very recently has been quite pleasant in the 80s. I mean, it's hot upstairs right now, but I'm also making tomato crack, which heats up the kitchen. I have to crank up the air conditioning because the tomato crack heats up the kitchen, which makes the tomatoes not last on the counter as long. So I've got to keep the AC cranked up. It's all for tomatoes, right? What we do for tomatoes. Hi, Irene. Happy almost Friday to you. And Anne is here. And Catherine. I'll see Catherine Carlisle again, which I'm happy about. Hey, Linda. Thanks for watching. We've got Nicole here. How's your garden this year, Nicole? Who else do we have? Hello from Bavaria, right? Did I get it right? Hello to you. Thanks for watching. Got Amy here. Hi, Amy. And Erin. And these garden adventures. Hey, Lauren. Hey, everybody. Fixing to start washing dishes. We'll be listening. Hey there. Hey, speaking of John. Hey, John. Thanks for watching. And we've got Natalia here. And Mariah. And Janet. Happy Tomato Thursday to you. Who else do we have? Irene. Hi, Irene. And Bonnie. The girls did you proud on the West Coast. It couldn't have went any better. I could tell. I could tell. And the generosity of those prizes and everything. I mean, seriously, I'm going to need to step it up. Totally. I'm so glad you got to attend, Bonnie, really. Your daughter did an amazing job. She's a wonderful person. We love all the awesomeness of Awesome Sauce. I almost wore the Tomato Awesome Sauce shirt by Inspire Garden Life today. It looks a little bloody to me. It's supposed to be sauce, but it looks a bit like a massacre, which hits a little too close to home after the massacre with the kittens and the tomato last night. Hey, Claudia, thanks for watching. We've got Jerry and Stephanie. And Haley, boy, Haley put a great post up in the group last night. She got to taste Angwei the tomato at our tasting last year. She got a little taste. I had one tomato. It had just ripened on the vine. Nobody had tasted Angwei yet other than Angwei. Nobody. And so Jen and I tasted it live on the air and we're like, oh my God, this thing's great. So a few people got like a very small taste. Haley was one of them. And rightfully so, because Haley's obsessed with white tomatoes. It's really more like a pale yellow, but a lot of people consider those like white and pale yellow sort of the same. So Haley got, I think I gave you a plant, right, Haley, at the plant swap? I at least gave you seeds or a plant, I don't remember. And so she got to taste her first fruit from that plant. And she's a very, very happy girl, which makes me happy. Hi, Jocelyn. Happy Friday Eve to you. Linda says it's finally under 100 today. Thank goodness. Ugh. Hey, Lucas. What's with the J? Thanks for watching. Oh, Natalia in bed with the stomach flu. What a bummer. Oh, I guess hi. It was supposed to be hi. Hi, Lucas. Nice to see you. Who else have I missed? Maritime Tropicals here. Happy Tomato Day to you. Jennifer Barnes, happy Awesome Sauce Day, everyone. On vacation, but couldn't miss all the fun. Thankful for good Wi-Fi at our Verbo. Hooray for good Wi-Fi. Speaking of Wi-Fi, didn't intend this. Oh, did I forget to upload it? Huh. Hang on. I didn't think I forgot to upload it. Our show with Craig, Tomato Talk Live. Could have sworn I uploaded the file. Hang on a second here. Add new layer, media files, LTA. Okay, here we go. Let me make me smaller. Last Friday was supposed to be our Tomato Talk Live. Jen and I do Tomato Talk Live once a month on the first Friday of the month. And we were supposed to have Craig LaHoulier on, and unexpected to me, I don't know, maybe Heidi, maybe you can tell me if it was supposed to come, but it didn't. I didn't know it was coming. Huge storm came, at least where I am. We're about 15 minutes away from each other. Knocked out the power for a couple hours, which obviously knocked out the internet too. So no show with Craig. And we really wanted to do it soon before, we didn't want to push him off until September because there's a lot of things to discuss. There's a lot of disease stuff going on, and I know a lot of you have questions about saving seeds, what's safe, disease, protocol and hygiene and all of that with saving seeds. So we wanted to have him on sooner than later, and he wants to talk about the results of his Captain project. I talked about it on my garden tour yesterday, but a couple years ago he made a master cross of Captain Lucky and Sun Gold Cherry, which is a hybrid. And then he's given seeds out to many, many people who are growing it, sharing photos, sending seeds back to him, and he's super excited about all the results of it. So he's going to talk about that too. Anyhow, it's going to be next Thursday in place of this show. So instead of Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce, in this time slot at this time, we are going to do our Tomato Talk Live with Craig. So Thursday, August 20th at this time, which hopefully for those of you across the pond works out a lot better for you than our normal 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which I know is like 1 o'clock in the morning for many of you. So hope to see some of you there. Mark your calendars. It's going to be a great show. We haven't had Craig on in about a year. He had been coming on every couple months, and then his life circumstance changed. His grandson moved in, and where he normally does live shows is Eli's bedroom. So anyway, we're really happy to have him back on. So make sure you watch. Isn't it funny how just mentioning Wi-Fi can send me off on a tangent, but that needed to be said. Who else do we have? Lexi Girl, happy Awesome Sauce Thursday to you. Akelia, did Rue get a bath or did Hopper just lick the tomato off his back? Neither. Well, I'm not giving him a bath. And I do keep hoping that Hopper licks. He stains very easily, and he's always into trouble, so this is not his first stain. It's absolutely hilarious. Is he here? No, Hopper's here. I don't know what happened to Rue, but I am hoping that Hopper just licks it off his back. So funny. All right, I'm going to scan. Anybody I'm missing? Lots of hashtag tomato. Fiery Dragon K. Hello from Las Vegas. Hi there. I'm not sure I recognize your name. Welcome. Happy to have you. Irene says, that's the joy of the group. I've not only grown a bunch of new to me tomato varieties, I've made friends. Such a fun group. Thank you. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. It's much more, that's why I don't call it a group that often. I call it a community. I mean, technically on Facebook, we are a group, but I consider it a community because we really are, at the risk of sounding like cliche and stuff, but we really do become like a family, don't we? You get to know these people. So getting the opportunity to meet each other in person, if you're able, is a real treat. Heidi. Poor Heidi keeps trying to make it. I'm going with a bubble next year, a whole house. For one reason or another, Heidi has all these circumstances that she can't make it. This one can't be helped, though, Heidi. Hi, Pretty. Nice to see you. Thanks for watching. All right, I'm going to scan. Hey, Jeff's here. Hey, Jeff. Howdy, Lauren and gang. Thanks for watching, Jeff. Jeff owns Secret Seed Cartel, and he always has a coupon code for us. Not sure if you knew that, but if you're looking to get seeds, go to secretseedcartel.com use the code TLC20. That's for Tomato Lovers Collective, TLC20, and you get 20% off. Did you know that? Maybe not. Hey, Lisa. Thanks for tuning in. Interesting on the grow bag. I'll be aware I have a couple of varieties that are in the ground and one in grow bag. Yeah. Finding that to be true. I'm still waiting for one to at least blush, taking so long. She's talking about a variety that she and I are both growing. How's my face doing? Are you talking to me? What did I do to my face? Remind me. Unless you're talking to somebody else. My face. Fox Farm Ocean Forest is fabulous. It is expensive, but fabulous. Oh, you got Nebulous Sugar Shock. Good. It was good. Yay, we knew Lauren was a pro. What am I a pro at? This is what happens when the comments get far behind. I'm lost in the conversation. I'm so looking forward to my shirt. I had to buy more. I'm sure you're not the only one. Oh, by the way, I sent the email but never got the survey. I would email them again. I'm sure it must be lost because I think they were responding right away to people. So I would send them another email, just support@inspiredgardenlife.com. And I know I did it just to do the survey. And it was, I think it may have been an automatic thing. Did you check your spam? Maybe it ended up in spam or junk too. Inspired Garden Life is so good to us. They are. They sure are. You didn't either, Melissa. Huh. Yeah, I would say the same for anybody. If you didn't get the survey, check your spam folder or just send them another email. They would not, they would not be happy to know that. They want to make sure everybody gets it. I know a lot of you got it because they copied me, like I said. Been meaning to message Lauren, but kept forgetting to. That's fine. Yeah, just don't email me. Just email them directly. Support@inspiredgardenlife. Any more groundhogs? That's a good question. I don't think so. To be honest with you, I'm so overwhelmed with plants and tomatoes right now that if something was being eaten, I'd probably be like, whatever, kind of. But oh, it's looking stormy outside right now. If I go off the air, when we lose power all the time, we're out in the boondocks. If I go off the air, you know why. I don't think there's any more groundhogs. Will any show up to the windows today? The day is still young. We don't know. But I don't think so. So maybe the magic number was number 5. We got 5. We didn't have one last year or the year before, I think. And then, random years we get 1, but 5? It was crazy. Linda said I had to send them a separate email to tell them my survey didn't pop up. They sent it to me. Okay. Hi, Christy. Thanks for watching. Linda got her shirt today. Excited to wear it. Inspired Garden Life, you are so generous. I agree. Hey, Dana. Thanks for watching. And we've got Mike here. Could you make your tomato crack in an electric roaster? It doesn't heat up your kitchen as much. Yes, I think Jen said she did. I don't have that is one kitchen utensil I don't have, nor do I want one, to be honest with you. I don't cook meat. I don't roast meat, so it would only be for the tomato crack. And I don't mind cranking up the AC when I'm making it, to be honest with you. But somebody told me they did it in a roaster, and I'm pretty sure it was Jen. Hi, Mandy. Thanks for tuning in, and Brianna's here. And I missed you, Kyla. Hi, Kyla. Eager to try Angwe ES. It's a great one. It's a great one. Mine, I gave out so many seeds to so many of you. Some of you got not true seeds, either from me or Angwe. Came from both of us. And my own seeds were not true, as it turns out. Mine turned pink. But honestly, I'd rather have mine not be true than you guys, because like I said, I've tasted it. But it was a bit of a bummer. Oh, one of yours has flowers. That's good. I know it was super late. I'm really looking forward to the new shirts coming from the stories we gave. I actually enjoyed doing the questionnaire. Thank you, Inspire Garden Life. I enjoyed doing it too. When you are describing tomatoes when ordering, do they call white or yellow or just search both? Usually white, I find. I find like if you're looking at categories from different vendors and stuff, there's often a category for white. It might even be white/yellow at some sites, but I think they do consider them white. Hi, Yvette. Thanks for watching. And Kim's here. Definitely the harvest season now for sure. What city in California was the West Coast Seed Swap held? It was in Lodi, California. Garden Girl's here. Hola, lady. Awesome sauce. Great to hear. And some awesome tomatoes. Yes, we've got to get to those. I've got lots to show. It's half an hour into the show. Hi, son. Mark my calendar so I don't miss the show next week. It's going to be a good one. And Craig's well aware of what we want to talk about. And some of you submitted questions that day in the group we put out. Jen put out a post like, what do you want to ask him? And some of you came to me privately with questions too, which I also relayed to him. So he's well aware of what we want to talk about. You're talking about Hopper, my cat. I assume he's orange. He's not going to grow out of it. I've been dealing with orange for 13 years. LOL. To be honest with you, Rue, the white one, is usually the devil. He's usually the devil with Now, Hopper, the ginger, I've been told they're not the sharpest tools in the shed, and I do see that. He's sweet as anything. So sweet. Not smart. Not very smart. But he's so sweet and cute. He's like a stuffed animal. Rue's normally the troublemaker, but based on the sequence of events and the photos, and I saw Hopper eyeing it, which should have told me I should take the tent down. I believe Hopper jumped up on the counter. The whole thing fell on top of Rue and how he got stained. They're just so funny, and I can't get mad at them because they're hilarious. Hi, Aldous. Glad you're here. And Jess is here. We'll be in and out today, but we'll catch as much as I can. And we've got Irene. Hi, Irene. And Kelly. I love the thought of a community. Well said. Thank you. Thank you. It really is a community. So much more than a group. Hi, Sherva. Thanks for tuning in. All right, am I caught up? Oh, Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. My orange boy is so smart and just the sweetest boy. He's the one that switched out all my micros when they were in the Aero Garden. Oh, right. The boys do like to help me with my gardening, that's for sure. If you watched my garden tour yesterday, you see Hopper, the ginger one, he'll take, and I wear overalls most days, not on Thursdays during the show, but I wear my Duluth Trading Company overalls most days in the summer. He'll take running leaps and just jump at me. And he'll attach like I'm Velcro. And the claws do go into my skin. I've got scratches all over my body. He's a piece of work. He's a piece of work. All right. What other announcements did I have? We've got East Coast Tasting. We've got Craig. September 1st, Micropalooza in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. What's Micropalooza? This is where we, anybody that wants to participate, we grow micro dwarf tomatoes indoors over the winter. It's technically starts September 1st, but it can be September 1st or later. You can start October 1st, November 1st, December 1st, but it's not starting before September 1st. You can grow as many micro dwarfs as you want. You can grow mini dwarfs too if you have the space. And every Friday I put up a post that is, what do you call it, progress reports. And we share photos of like first germination and first fruits and ripening and blushing and all of that stuff. It's just for fun and just to get over the grief from the winter blues of not having tomatoes. I do realize September 1st seems a little too soon because many of us are still swimming in tomatoes in September 1st. But believe me, and somebody in the group said it too, and I don't remember who, She said oh, I know who. I won't say who it is unless she wants to reveal herself. She said she misses it every year because by September 1st, she's like, I want nothing to do with micros. And then come the winter time, she regrets not doing it. So she's going to do it this year. So, yeah, so get your micro dwarf seeds now. There is going to be a sale starting tomorrow at Bunny Hop Seeds or Heritage Seed Market. I put a post in the group the other day. If you go to Heritage Seed Market, 30% off. It goes from tomorrow through next Wednesday, the 19th. And with code SOMEBUNNY, let me put up the banner. Maybe I'll put a reminder post up in the group. You get 30% off of only the Bunny Hop Seeds seeds. Some Bunny at Heritage Seed Market. Heritage Seed Market is an umbrella business for Bunny Hop Seeds and Heritage Seed Market. Ellie owns Bunny Hop Seeds, and so it's only applicable to her seeds. But she has all the micros, out of stock on several, she said. But that would be a great place to go. And then, of course, Ken Fry, our resident friend, Pepper Lovers Collective and Swap moderator, owner of Forgotten Heirlooms. He is planning on attending Carlisle. So for those of you coming to there, you can stock up on some micro seeds there. He said he's going to try his best. He is going to try. So that'll be cool beans too. I don't think Bounty Hunter is coming this year. We haven't talked about it recently, but I think Lucas said there was an issue. He's going to try, but I think there was an issue. So get your micro dwarf seeds for Micropalooza. And I think that's it. Make sure, for those of you just tuning in, make sure you type in #tomato. We've got some great prizes to give away at the end of the show. And let's get rolling with some tomatoes, shall we? Finally. Where are we at? Okay, some of you in the group may have seen this. Our friends at Kids Seed Company mailed me tomatoes, which is a first for me. I was mailed a plant last year by Pretty, as a matter of fact, who's here today. Been mailed lots and lots of seeds, but I've never been mailed actual tomatoes. So Laura from Kids Seed Company sent me these. They're a new tomato for them. I believe they're exclusive to them. It's Reunion Island Tropical Cherry. They made the trip. They're a little worse for the wear. Some of them exploded. But I've been keeping them in the fridge because they did get a little heat exposed. These are really yummy. You can see I took a brick score, 9.1. The size, it reminds me of Coyote, which is my favorite cherry. Thin skin, total flavor explosion. These are yummy. They're available on their website now. It comes from Reunion Island, which is 400 miles east of Madagascar. It's a tropical island. It was originally discovered by Portuguese seafarers and known to Arabs. The uninhabited island was taken into possession by France in the 17th century. The island's roughly 1,000 square miles, and the French cultivated sugar and coffee on the rich volcanic soil. Today, Reunion Island remains an overseas department of France and lies 5,800 miles from Paris. It's got a tropical climate-rich soil, makes it an agricultural paradise, tropical fruits, sugarcane, and coffee. The Reunion Island tropical cherry tomato provides a burst of intense flavor packed into a small cherry tomato that rarely grows over half an inch in diameter. They say they're incredibly prolific. It very much reminds me of Coyote. It is not Coyote, though, because I know that flavor. This is totally different. Similar in the way that it's got a unique flavor. It's got extreme sweetness and umami. That's really tasty. I was telling them, it's almost like a pineapple. Yeah, this is like a really good garden snack for those of you that like prolific and just want like garden candy. Reunion Island Tropical Cherry would be a good one for you to try. It's a new one sold for them this year. They said their brother-in-law lives in Mexumu, France, gave us the parent seed for these. His mother was born on Reunion Island, one of 10 children, and he has dozens of cousins who live throughout the island. Many of his family members work in agriculture, and all of them are serious gardeners. No one in his family can recall where the original seeds of this tomato came from, but it has been grown in their family for many generations. So it's a good one. It's a good one. Thank you, Laura. I don't know if you guys are watching today, Laura Laszlo and the gang, for mailing me these tomatoes. What a great treat that was. Hopefully it won't be the last time I get tomatoes in the mail. And they made it pretty well. Took a couple days too. Thank you guys. I do have the direct link for anybody that wants to purchase them or take a look at the listing. They're listing all kinds of great things lately. Some of the things that I sent them. All right, I put the link in the comments here. Reunion Island Tropical Cherry. They always have unique things at Kids Seed Company, stuff that you generally can't find elsewhere. Not always, but a lot of the time. Have you ever experimented with straw bale gardening? If you're asking me, the answer is no. Have I considered it? A long time ago, I did. To be honest with you, it sounds like a big pain in the butt. I'll just put it right out there. It sounds like a big pain in the butt. And I'm not sure I've seen like a tremendous benefit to it where the amount of work seems like it would pay off well. I would like to do it just because I like experimenting and making videos and sharing with you guys. But honestly, like, I don't see that happening. I just don't. I just don't. But Jen still does it and she likes it. Craig obviously does it. I mean, he put that kind of on the map, wrote a book about it, but I have not. There's other experiments I would like to try before that, to be honest with you. Any micro recommendations that produce fairly large fruits? Good question. And I'm glad somebody said good question, so I scrolled back. I'm glad I didn't miss it. Yes, I was just talking with Kim Wallace today. She was asking for micro recommendations. If you're looking for large fruits, you want to look at Tiny Totem. Make sure you're not getting Totem. There's a Totem and there's a Tiny Totem. Tiny Totem is the micro, doesn't get much taller than 12 to 14 inches. I wonder if I have, let me see if I have a slide already uploaded here. You get mini beefsteaks. Hear that? Oh, I do. And so, here you go. This is Tiny Totem. I realize I don't have a picture of the whole plant, but this is the size that you get with Tiny Totem. I find the plants are prolific. I actually use this in some of my micro crosses that I'm working on because I like the size. And let me tell you, in December, January, when you're getting fruits from these, forget just the size, but they're also super tasty. And so, like, I actually made a tomato sandwich out of a bunch of them once because I was like aching for a tomato sandwich. I would recommend this for size. I'm not even sure what would come in second place. Working on a couple things myself, but Tiny Totem, Paws Pride's a decent size, but if you're looking for like little mini beefsteaks, Tiny Totem, and again, make sure you get the Tiny Totem, not regular Totem. I see that happening all the time. If anybody has any other micro questions for me, I am kind of the micro queen. I've grown a lot of them, and there's a lot that just have no flavor, and there's also good ones. So Tiny Totem, I think, is a really good one. Paws Pride is the most delicious one, that Vilma. And the next tomato I'm talking about actually happens to be a micro that I will also recommend. Greg says, I got to get my indoor Vilma started on September 1st. I've had them inside and outside now. I prefer the grow light ones barely. Same. I honestly, I find the ones I grow indoors just taste better. I don't know why. Both are grown in Fox Farm, so that theory's out. I don't know. All right, let's look at the next slide so we can keep talking micros. Oh, I meant to mention, so Laura Laszlo and the fam from Kids Seed Company, they are giving away 2 packets of this, and what's the other one? It was one I talked about. Oh shoot. It's another one of, hang on. Hang on. Okay. We've got Reunion Island Tropical Cherry and St. Vincent de Paul tomato. I think I talked about that one last week, maybe the week before. It's another new one, which I'm totally growing in 2027. It looks and sounds fantastic. So they're giving away 2 packets of these. Thank you guys if you're watching they sent these along with my little tomatoes. So for 2 people, so make sure you type in #tomato and you can win your own seeds for Reunion Island Tropical Cherry. Okay, and then another prize we're giving away is one that I grew last year, and really, like, I haven't even gotten all my reviews up from last year. I never reviewed this, and I really loved it. Meraki Seeds in Greece has it, and she's hoping to start shipping again to the United States, Helena. So she sent me like a test package, and she sent me some extra seed packets of, she's now calling it Meraki's Green Boy. So for 2 people, you'll be getting seeds for this too in today's giveaway. This was found in an already existing micro called Purple Boy. She found a green when ripe. I grew it last year. I loved it. There aren't many green when ripe micros. I grew Fat Frog, was very unimpressed with Fat Frog. I grew Jewel Beetle, which was really pretty good. I think Purple Boy Green beat out all of them. I haven't grown Danish Dynamite from Brad Gates yet. This was really pretty awesome. I grew 2 plants. They were crazy prolific, really, really pretty, and super tasty. 5.8 bricks for a micro is pretty darn good. And that was grown outside when like Septorians, all that gets it, so it's probably much higher than that. So for those of you who can still order from Meraki in Greece, you can order from them, or perhaps you'll win some today. I will keep you guys posted. You may want to check, maybe she's shipping to the US already. I know she sent a package to me and also one to Jen as like a test to make sure they got here. I haven't talked to Jen to see if she got hers. I assume she did. I can't imagine there would be a problem. I think the issue was happening, she was mailing her advent calendars out to people and those didn't make it, but that's understandable. They're kind of big and bulky. So she stopped shipping, but I think she's looking to resume again. So anyway, if you're looking for another really good micro, you want to try Green When Ripe, I recommend, it used to be known as Purple Boy Green, now she's calling it Meraki's Green Boy. Lynn's going to start up to 5 different varieties. I'm going to be growing my own crosses that I'm still working on, and then a couple of Heidi Dolan's. Two new ones that she's got, one coming out next year, one that is coming out soon in the fall, but mainly mine I'll be growing. I started micros last month. It's so blazing hot here that you aren't getting tomatoes to grow outside starting in May or June. Ugh. Well, I'm glad you started your micros. They're a lot of fun. Hey, Gigi. Glad you're here. I haven't grown Beta Lux. Is it tasty? I kind of heard it didn't taste very good. I consider Beta Lux to be a mini, though. Yeah, I kind of thought that too. So they are shipping tomatoes or seeds. If you're talking about Kids Seed Company, they're not shipping tomatoes. They just sent it to me as a treat. They're shipping seeds. Everglades, yeah, I've heard that. I think Everglades is a flavor explosion for such a small tomato. That's around the same size as these, right? From Florida Everglades. I've heard that. I've wanted to grow it for a while. Jeff at Secret Seed Cartel carries those. Yeah, they do look similar, don't they? and I've heard great things about it. I'm cleaning out my hydroponic to get ready for Micropalooza and took a few cuttings from my old plants. Ah, smart. I grew tiny totem in spring, Greg, and it was a mini beast. Really? What's your version of mini beast? Like, did it get tall? Are you sure you had tiny totem and not regular totem? I usually grow it in a 2-gallon grow bag. I've grown it in a 1-gallon, and it grows just fine. But I haven't found them to get taller than 12 to 14 inches and really loaded with lots of foliage and fruit. But they will get taller depending on grow lights too. Growing indoors, if the grow lights aren't very strong, they will stretch up towards the light. I've grown microdwarfs on my kitchen windowsill before. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's fun, but like a micro that's only supposed to get to be 6 inches tall will like spiral around and grow and like 2-3 feet. And they will produce, but they're searching for the sun. So the stronger the grow light, you don't want too strong of a grow light, but the stronger the grow light, they will remain the size that they are supposed to be. Sounds flavor-wise almost like a ground cherry. It tastes similar to a ground cherry, Jess. Also similar in the way of the... that's a good tomato. Yeah, not quite as tart as a ground cherry. It's more sweet than a ground cherry. I like ground cherries too. Hey, Malachite Jen. Checking late, but glad I'm here now. Well, you missed me thanking you and Jamie for the tremendous amount of work and love that you put into the tasting last week and on the West Coast. I honor you ladies very, very much and everybody that helped them to create a beautiful day out there. I hope that you consider doing it again. Believe me, I know the amount of work. I know how exhausted you must have been at the end of the day, but it sounds like you were all glowing afterwards. I mean, we had such great testimonies from everybody that was there. So thank you, my dear friend, for doing that. You and Jamie are absolute loves, and I hope you consider doing it again. I thought I grew tiny totem, but evidently not because mine didn't look like that. Interesting. Grow list disruptor at it again. That's me. Professional tomato plant enabler. Yes, you need that variety too. I take micros seriously. Here's why. Everybody wants to call everything a micro dwarf nowadays. It's not. You have to be careful of some vendors slapping micro dwarf on things that are not. You want to do your research. 2, there's some really tasteless micros out there that just aren't worth your time. If you're looking for so good ideas of things that I've grown that I like and also height ideas, we do have a master spreadsheet in TLC. If you go to our group guides, you'll find it. It's our micro mini dwarf spreadsheet. It's pretty much up to date. And I haven't grown every single micro out there, but I've grown a lot, probably close to 200, I bet. And you know, I put my reviews, and taste is subjective, of course, and there's a lot of factors that go into taste. But there's some out there that just, they're cute, they're pretty, but I just feel lack flavor. And inside real estate is really hard to come by, unless you've got a big greenhouse and you can do it there. I do not. I grow here in my basement. What I'm looking at is a sea of grow lights. It used to be like the kids hang out down here. Now that they're out of the house, it's mom's grow light fiesta. So I want to be able to grow something that, you know, like we were talking about with Tiny Totem, that has nice big fruits for what you're growing, and I want something that tastes good. What's the point if it's not going to taste good? In my opinion. That's my opinion. And I want to see you guys all love what you're growing. Pause Pride, if you can only grow one, it can be more of a mini dwarf, but if you grow it in a 1 gallon, it can stay short. That is the most excellent tasting micro dwarf, bred by Heidi Dolan. It's extraordinary. I also like Sweet Louis. It looks like Suber Louis because there's like a bee-looking character that's German, but it's really Sweet Louis, and you can get that from BNS Seeds. BNS Seeds. Those are elongated little orange cherries. I'm actually using that as a cross with Paws Pride right now. Those are like sugar bombs. Really, really good. That's another one I like. That's the same way I feel with micros. A lot of blah flavors there are, but there's some good ones nowadays too. I need a list of which ones would do good in a green stalk and which ones would not. Go to the spreadsheet because I've got heights on just about everything there. Because some site can call a 24-inch plant a micro, and we don't think to look at it. And obviously, that's not going to do very good in a green stalk. Micros are hot right now with the explosion of like aero gardens and hydroponic units and green stalks. Micros are really hot. So if some vendors say, "Ah, we can make that into a micro," and they'll put micro on there. So you want to pay attention to the height for sure, because some micros can be 4 inches tall. Some micros can be, well, according to some vendors, 16, 18, 24 inches tall. There's a big difference. And while it seems short now that it's our season and all that, when you're inside, it's not short at all. So you want to be careful. Jewel Beetle has done well in my green stalk, top tier peppers below it, and is delicious. Are you finding that just to be it was very cascading for me? I grew it indoors, and it was very cascading for me. Like it would do well in a hanging pot. How is it growing for you? Crow's Eye was a pretty good one for me. I liked Chernichka better, which looks very similar. Chernichka or blueberry, which I think Ken Fry has all of these, by the way. Dang, you're asking the good questions. Good one, Mariah. Did I miss a question? Are there any purple micros? If you're talking purple, like the GMO purple tomato, no. But if you're talking antho, there's several. There's Black Patio. Let me get the link, you guys, to our micro mini dwarf spreadsheet. And I'll put it in the comments. You can always find it in the group guides. Ink Spot, Tartufo, Blau Zimmer Tomate. But if you're looking like a bright purple, no, you don't even find that in real tomatoes. That's the GMO Snapdragon thing. But there's plenty with the antho on there. And as somebody who hates antho, I don't detect it in the micros. The ones that have antho on them, I don't detect it for some reason, which is a good thing for me. What else is there? There's a bunch of them. If you look I just put the link to the spreadsheet in there. You guys can check that out. Most of them, if not all, have photos, so you can see them. But there's a bunch. Ink Spot's a good one. Blau Zimmer Tomate, Tartufo, Purple Boy, not Purple Boy Green. Yeah. Loving Mr. Ranch Boar Goats. Hi, everyone driving, so it's a listen day. Glad you're here. I'm growing Crow's Eye and Jewel Beetle. I forgot about them. Oh, that's right. Danish Dynamite is Hell's, yeah. Brad Gates has a green one too, and I'm forgetting what the name of it is. I'm growing it now. Which one are you growing now, Jen? Crazy prolific, but I have to water to keep them alive. Taste is pretty mild. Emerald City's fantastic. I was really impressed by Jewel Beetle's flavor, would not have guessed it was a micro. I remember really liking it too. I did try Lily Lise, which stands for Little Lise. It's been a couple years. You'd have to check the spreadsheet. I do have my review on it up there. I don't remember it doing anything special for me, which should say something, because I usually remember the ones that I really, really liked, but I could be wrong. You want to check on the spreadsheet there. I guess we should make this a micro episode, huh? Vilma. Vilma's been my favorite until Paws Pride came along. I had a Vilma that was almost 2 years old, grew indoors. I think it was like a year and a half old. I love that micro, and it kept producing, and then it would be dormant for a while, and then it would produce again. I was crushed when that died. was crushed. But that's a really great, just a plain old red microdwarf. It's a good one. Hi, Laura. My second Viljar is brown with tiny fruits. Interesting. I need to get you pictures for all the Viljars. You can decide which ones. I've saved seeds from all of them for you. You have to decide what you want. I was talking about one of them on my garden tour yesterday. Viljar 3 for me. That's a really, really good one. Very, very tasty. Outback Tasmania. I can't wait for spring to arrive down south. Way south. Southern Hemisphere. Ha ha. Glad you're watching with us, Outback Tasmania. Aztec is yummy. I have a green stalk full right now. I hope Viljar will be available in the group. It sounds amazing. It's very early days on Viljar. I think this was just F2 that I grew, but it would be up to Lucas when he's going to release those. Hey, Christine Crosby's here. I was hoping you'd join in. Hi there, Christine. Christine, for those of you that may not know, if you're a member of Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, she put an awesome sauce post up a couple hours ago, new to the group as of yesterday. And she's got, oh, and I like your shirt. What does that say? Tomato, is it, I can't see, is it Tomato Whisperer? I don't know. She's got an old family tomato that she's been growing for 6 years. It's been passed down through her family, her husband's uncle. I'm forgetting what it's called. It's starts with Vincent's Sicilian Monster, something like that. And I was telling her about the show and how I share stories and all of that. It's got a great story, and we're happy to have you in the group, Christine, and your wonderful tomato and your story, of course. But we're really happy to have you, and I'm glad you said hi. I was hoping you'd tune in. All right, I'm going to skip. Paws Pride is definitely on my wish list. Yeah, it's a really good one. All right, I'm going to skip ahead because I need to get to some tomatoes. If anybody ever has any micro questions, I mean, you can certainly put it in the chat here, but you can private message me also. The Vincent Sicilian Monsters. Awesome. I love that name too. Fantastic. Tomato season. Got it. That's what her shirt says. Okay. Let's get to some tomatoes. Well, other tomatoes. Some I've got to taste, some I've just got to tell you about because they're so darn good. All right, this one I have not tasted yet. Wild Tiger by Lee Goodwin. Where are they? It says experimental, and it really is. I don't know what the inside looks like yet. That is what his website says they look like. Here's what my outsides look like. Not sure if that inside's going to come from these, which is fine. A lot of Lee's stuff is experimental. I'm totally fine with that. I like experimental. And I've not tasted these yet. They're really starting to come in hard and fast. Let's see what the inside looks like. Oh, let me give you some information about it if there is any. Let's see. Wild Tiger is a swirl of red, gold, and green overlaid with darker streaks. The fruit is fat and tapering, 2.5 inches in length. Juicy with a wonderful complex flavor. Sliced, they display a mix of half a dozen colors. Do you think it's going to be half a dozen colors? I'm thinking not. Production is excellent on sprawling vines, and the thicker skin means they hold well and don't split. I sold out of these before any other this summer. At F6 now, this variety should be stable. Let's see. I'll be the judge of that. Well, we'll be the judge of that. Yeah, not a surprise. The interior is nothing like that. So maybe not stable. Kind of what I expected to see. Was really kind of hoping to see that. Oh well, let's see what the refractometer says on the sweetness of these before I taste it. Yeah, pretty good. 6.5. Doesn't taste like a 6.5. No, it does not. Let me test it again. It's a bit sour. Yeah. Same score. Let's taste it again. Well, you can't win them all. Now, granted, that's just one fruit, and they're something if you've been watching me for the last couple of years, or even just starting this season, you know that often the first tomatoes are not a good judge of what the rest of the tomatoes will taste like. What I do know is A, they're not going to look like that. B, not stable. And C, right now, they definitely don't. That's interesting that the Brix is that high because I'm not tasting it at all. It's mainly sour and tangy. Not a spitter at all. Just really tangy, flavorful, but wish there was a little sweetness in there. That's very interesting. Okay. That's Wild Tiger. Anybody else growing Wild Tiger? Are you getting anything like the picture? Completely different from the pic for sure. Oh, yes, Christine, good question, and thank you guys for answering. This is called a refractometer. Many of us tomato heads have it. People also have it if they're roasting coffee or making wine, or diabetics. It measures sugar content in food. And while it doesn't judge, it only tests the sugar content. And there's a lot more to tomato flavor than sugar, but you can't measure other things, the other taste components. So sugar does give you a little bit of an idea, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a good tomato. If it's a high Brix score, doesn't necessarily mean it's a good one, or vice versa, if you know what I mean. But yes, it measures the sugar content. So it's kind of fun to play around. I'm shocked that it was that high. I would have guessed in 3 or 4, to be honest with you, based on lost me at sour and tangy. Yeah, I know you don't like sour. I like sour. Yeah, I'll stay hopeful for the rest of the season. Yeah, you should. There's plenty on Amazon. They're a lot of fun. There's manual ones where you can like look through a hole and read, but there's some digital ones that are pretty reasonably priced nowadays. They're a lot of fun to try. Just try it with your tomato. All right, moving on. What's next? Come on. I could kick myself. I was not thinking. I seeded everything I had that was ripening last night. I should have saved one for the show. So I've tasted, just yesterday, I tasted 2 tomatoes that look exactly the same. One of them I tasted last week, but I did like the official review with Rob last night. Rainbow Veselka and Head Over Heels. They look exactly the same. Same coloring, same size, everything looked exactly the same. Even the Brix score was, I think, exactly the same. Taste was so different. I fell in love with Head Over Heels. I can't believe, I'm not always thinking ahead to like, I need to save this for the show. I'm thinking this is starting to go. I need to seed it fast. There's lots more coming in. But let me tell you, this new variety from Bill Yoder in his Tears for Fears collection is a winner. And I loved it so much. I was messaging with him last night and told him I love this. And I love to grow things, you guys know, that have that tricolor look to it. I grow a lot of green one ripes, and I grow a lot of things with that tricolor interior. And to be honest with you, a lot of them kind of taste the same. They're good, but they're not intensely flavored. They're fruity, they're sweet. Sometimes they're a little watery, but usually for that look, I'm not getting like that intense flavor that I love. That changed with Head Over Heels. Let me tell you, this is a great tomato. And so I was messaging Bill. Now, I had read his like description of Head Over Heels back in the spring when I shared it on my Grow List video. Who the heck's calling me? Don't know that number. but I hadn't read it recently, and I was telling him this tastes like the intense flavors more like a standard GW, a green when ripe, than a tricolor. And he's like, oh, yes, yes, exactly, exactly. So when I got ready for the show today, I'm reading from his description that pretty much says the same thing. He says, very productive, which is true, resilient tomato, also true, matures mid-season, flavors more complex than other similar tomatoes like Ananas Zebra or Cherokee Lime Stripes. True and true. It is not as tart as Green Zebra. Thank God for that. But there's a hint of a tangy component under, I don't like Green Zebra. But there's a hint of a tangy component under the sweetness. I like to feature this tomato in a salad to add beautiful color and extra flavors. Oh shoot, I forgot a section. He said, I guess I forgot to copy and paste. He said something about he provides tomatoes to local gourmet chefs in his area in Atlanta. There was a section that was saying that he was actually giving these for people to use for fried green tomatoes, to which I normally am like, no, you use any unripe tomato for fried green tomatoes. And he was saying this actually holds up to that even when ripe. And so I was telling him all this stuff about it tastes like a green when ripe. It's really, really good. And so I hadn't read this other stuff. It's a great tomato. Who else is growing it? Jamie's growing. Hey, Jamie, you're growing it. I don't know if you just got here, but I was singing your praises. Your mom was here. You and Jen, thank you so much for everything you did for last weekend. It looks like it was a great day. Have you had any ripe ones yet, Jamie? You must have at this point, I think. Oh my, more Bill Yoder to order for sure. This is a good one. Hey, blah, blah. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys type in hashtag tomato. We've got some great prizes today. So anyway, I'm growing a lot of Bill Yoders this year. This is definitely a winner. I've already reviewed Love Action's pretty good. Fascination's pretty good. Head Over Heels is great. I think we gave this an 8 out of 10, which is really great for us. Adding to my grow list, Head Over Heels. Something happens and I'm head over heels. I never find out if I'm head over heels. Don't get me singing. Something happens and I'm head over heels. Grow it, Irene. It's good. It's really good. The 4.8, it's kind of a, I would say like it's not low, it's not high, but it's got full flavor. I can't wait for the next ones to come in, and there's a lot more coming in. I was just looking down to see if I have an example. No, I do not. I had 3 of them, these 3 last night, and I had to cut them up. I wasn't thinking. Think, Lauren, think. All right, I've got another Bill Yoder to taste that I have not tasted yet. Get the balance right. It's from he added it, it's a new one, but he added it to his Depeche Mode collection, which has been around for a while. And he tells me he believes it's a cross between Lee Goodwin's Ambrosia Giant and Ambrosia Ultra High Bricks, UBX. So anybody taste these yet? Jen, you'll love Head Over Heels. That's definitely a you tomato. Oh, hey, Lori. You're growing it. I agree. It's a great tomato. It is, right? I'm glad it's not just me. You're an hour and a half from Atlanta. Yeah, he's down in the Atlanta area. Catherine, I really like Head Over Heels. Good. Good. Honestly, so I had tasted Rainbow Veselka. I tasted it on the show last week. But honestly, I kind of forget when I'm tasting on the show. I kind of forget what I think. So I always retest, and I do it with Rob, and we take, our notes and all that stuff for my detailed reviews. So I generally don't go by what I tasted on the show. I kind of start fresh. And I think last week I thought it was pretty good. Tasted it last night, and it was just like the other tricolors I was saying. It wasn't great. It was good. Nothing wrong with it. But I find those tricolors all taste the same. And so I was expecting that from Head Over Heels too. Not for me anyway. It was a good one. Okay. Yeah, I just got here. Head Over Heels is yummy. I'm growing that and Hold Back the Rain. Both are good. I grew Hold Back the Rain last year. Green when ripe. I thought it was pretty good. My head over heels didn't sprout for me. We'll try again next year, but the other varieties of his is absolutely delicious. I'm doing a Bill Yoder section next season. You know, I swear he comes out with so many great varieties for the past, I think it's my 3rd year of having Bill Yoder sections, and I don't see it letting up soon. Nor should it. He's a wizard with color and flavor. All right, so this is Get the Balance Right. Looks a little different from the photos, and these are fully ripe. They've been inside. They have a little more of like a dark green to them than the photo, which I kind of like. Let's see the inside. Oh, boy, are these beautiful. Can you guys see that? Gorgeous. Lots of seeds and goo. That dark color is to die for. A little bit of green and maroon in there. Let's test it. So, Christine, you just squeeze a couple drops on here. Press the button. Ooh, 8.3. That's pretty sweet. That's yummy. Skin's a little bit chewy. Boy, I've had his Spellbound cherry is great. Pretty in Pink is great. And Get the Balance Right. It's great. I can see why it's so sweet. If the ambrosias from Lee Goodwin are in the crosses, those are really sweet. And boy, do I love that interior, huh? Got some good, I'm growing a lot of cherries this year. For one reason or another. Delicious. I like that a lot. Rob's gonna love that. It's a little bit crunchy, which I didn't think I used to like. I kind of like the crunchy now, to be honest with you. Goodness gracious, another Bill Yoder sigh. I need another few acres. I know. He's like a wizard. He's crazy. Okay. This next one I think I've talked about on the show a little bit, but we did our detailed review over the weekend. Ruby Ore. Do I need to even say anything? I think I may have said that last week. This is a very small Ruby Ore. Oops, and it's dripping. So I've got to cut it up fast. I should have some of these at Carlisle for those of you coming to Carlisle. This is a small one. You can see the one in the photo was about 1.5 pounds. They're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful tomatoes. Brix was a 5.7, which is very high for a beefsteak in general, never mind a big beefsteak. These are rare seeds, came from Mike Williams, again, the guy responsible for Hazel Creek. Typically only found in southwestern North Carolina. And it's generally just down in that area. Thanks to Mike going to this tomato festival a couple of years ago, he brought us Hazel Creek, and now he brings us Ruby Ore. And I feel quite honored and privileged to grow it this year. You know, I'll cut into the middle of it only because I'm going to have to seed it because I see it's starting to rot, but I want to show you guys what it looks like. I took an interior video, but I can't figure out how to upload videos to this thing. It's ridiculous. I'll figure it out eventually. I mean, look at this. Look at that. My word. It was delicious. We loved it. We gave it an 8 out of 10. There was a Graham County Center tomato tasting in 2024. It was Ruby Ore won by 19 votes, the best in the taste test. And it beat Hazel Creek, which only got 8 votes. Now, I love Hazel Creek. I think I actually love Hazel Creek more than Ruby Ore. This is a good tomato. Plants are loaded. I'm growing 2 in a bed that Actually, I'm growing 3 now that I think about it. 2 in a bed that's kind of cooking to death, but this plant's still going strong. And these are big. My mom just got her first one. She was loving it. So seeds will be available in the fall. I believe Samantha Schaefer will be selling it, homegrown in Illinois as well. And of course, I'll be giving seeds out too. This is a good one, gang. Ruby Ore. Put it on your radar. Hey, Leslie. Upstairs man cave AC stopped working, so I'm working on that now. Catch up with the show later. Hey, Leslie. Glad you're here. Ruby Ore looks like sunshine. That tastes like sunshine too. It's a good one. If the tomato is supposed to be sweet, you see it as a no, Brix is high, maybe next time let it ripen longer. That's not always true, actually. And I very rarely eat things that are underripe. Sometimes things are actually sweeter before they get too ripe. Sometimes tomatoes are better when they're a little underripe. I think Angwe Ias is a good example of that, actually. Yeah, sometimes they tend to lose that flavor and sweetness if you let them go too long. But I rarely do anything underripe, just for the sake of a big pet peeve of mine is taking photos of things that are underripe. I see a lot of vendors doing it, and I'm always careful to make sure that it's optimal ripeness. With the Lee Goodwin thing, those are overripe already. Those weren't getting any riper. Okay, this is one I grew last year. Gigi gave me seeds. Thank you, Gigi. This is called Verde Rojo de Sierra Pondo. You may have heard me talking about it before. This is one that was bred by Guy Ferrier from France, although he lives in Spain now, I believe. He crossed a Greenland Right Verde de las Landas with English Rose and created this variety. When Gigi first gave it to me a couple of years ago, I saw in the seed packet that it was a Spanish one, which I'm really into, and it was kind of like greenish rose. So I grew 2 plants last year, one in a raised bed and one in a grow bag. And the one in the raised bed was all purple. And it was okay, not great. The one in the grow bag had a little bit of green to it. That was really, really good. So I saved seeds from that. I gave seeds out to some of you. And then Gigi got more seeds from Guy at the Tomato Festival in Cantabria last year. So now I'm growing two plants again, one from my saved seeds and one from Guy's. The ones from my saved seeds this year are like a reddish purple, but the ones from Guy are not. They're what you see in the photo here. It's a beautiful tomato. The top's green. The bottom on the one in the photo you can see is purple. This is like a tricolor purple. Not a tricolor purple, what am I saying? Well, yeah, a tricolor. The interiors are what they consider to be a tricolor. Super yummy. It's supposed to be an F8. Is it stable yet? I'm not really sure. But thought we could taste it again. What do you think? Ooh, that's pretty. Do a Brix. How are we doing on time? Oof, that's not good. 3.3. And my first tasting was better. Interesting. It's probably because the plant's losing a lot of foliage. It's not the best right now. It was good when I tasted it this first time, so I probably should have stopped at that. But I will be saving seeds. Verde de las Landas and English Rose are both great tomatoes. I'm growing English Rose this year. So I will be helping to share seeds from that. Don't go by my tasting. I shouldn't have done that. The first one was good. I think we gave it a 7 out of 10. And it's a very unique Spanish tomato. Pretend you didn't see that. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Let's skip right over that. Rosie, Lisa's here. I tasted this last night. Some of you know what Rosie is. Some of you don't. Um, Let me try to sum it up and not take an hour to talk about it. So in Carlisle at our plant swap back in the spring, um, Lisa Nelson's mom, Joyce, was there, and while we were on the air, she gave Jen and I each a plant for this variety called Rosie. And she explained to us the special story. And there's a long story attached to it. Um, Let me try to see if I can condense it. I think I shared it on the show not long ago, but I don't want to assume that everybody knows about it. In the early 70s, my dad and brother were carpenters, were in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, working on a house. My dad noticed the house's neighbor had huge tomato vines growing on his fence next to his garden. The fruit on the vines was large and looked really nice. Dad was so impressed with the size of the plant and the tomato. My dad, being a very curious type of person who also was an avid gardener, asked the elderly neighbor what kind of tomato he was growing. The elderly man said his mother brought the seeds with her from Germany, and that this particular tomato seeds were saved in his family for generations. The elderly gentleman was willing to share some of the tomatoes with my dad and my brother. They both saved the seeds from the tomatoes. It was my brother Robert who took great interest in planting the saved seeds and growing the plants year after year. He kept the seeds from the nicest tomatoes for several years on his own, but he was saving other types of tomato seeds too, and he did not want the varieties to get mixed together, so he decided to give his two sisters each a particular variety to grow and save seeds. The one he gave me was the tomato from Lancaster County. He was very particular to tell me not to plant it near any other tomatoes and to save seeds from the nicest plants with the nicest tomatoes, no blemishes, round, firm, and few seeds. Robert called this the Rose tomato since my name was Rose. I have no idea what the previous name was, as the gentleman from Lancaster County only knew it as the seeds from Germany. I saved the seeds from year to year, keeping only seeds from the healthiest plants and the best quality tomato. Over the years, I was able to fine-tune the tomato to have fewer seeds and to have a very meaty, large fruit. I shared seeds with a few friends who were very interested. My brother passed away, so his wife gave all his seeds to me. He had a few saved, but not very many, as that was to be my job to save the Rose tomato. In 2009, there was a tomato blight pandemic that made late blight into a household term in much of eastern USA. Many home gardeners and many organic producers lost most, if not all, of their tomato crop. This pandemic was unusual. It started synchronously in mid to late June over much of the northeastern United States. The pathway was via infected tomato transplants shipped to garden centers and large retail stores throughout the Northeast. Unfortunately, I had purchased some Roma tomatoes from our local greenhouse. By June, they were full of the late blight, and it had spread to the Rose tomato in the garden. I lost the whole crop. I could save no seeds that year. Fortunately, I'd saved enough seeds the year before to have enough seeds to plant in 2010. What I did not realize was the blight stayed in the soil and it infected all the tomatoes that year. I lost all my seeds that had been saved. I was devastated. I had lost the seeds completely. I tried for several years to find another tomato that was similar, but I never found one I liked as much as our Rose tomato. The flavor was outstanding and the large fruit was so meaty. About 4 years later, one of my friends, Joyce St. John, who is Lisa Nelson's mom and the one that gave Jen and I the plants, was cleaning out her huge supply of seeds she had saved over many, many years. In that large supply of jumbles of seeds, she found a little glass coffee jar with 12 seeds in it. It was marked on the outside, Mr. Goggler's Tomato Seeds 1984. She brought them to me, and I was just thrilled. We decided to divide the seeds between her and me, so at least some would maybe be good and grow a plant. As it turned out, all 12 seeds were good, and they produced the first crop of Rose tomatoes for both Joyce and me. We decided to share the best seeds with others and have them also save seeds. I have taken saving the seed very seriously, and since that time, I have shared with many neighbors and friends. I also share it with our local nursery, Riverside Greenhouse. It has become a very popular tomato in our little community. I do garden-to-table workshops every year, and I take the seeds and share with those who come to the workshops. I don't want the seed to ever be lost again. I want many folks to enjoy this great tomato and be able to save their own seeds. And that was written by Rosie Massey of Mattawanna, Pennsylvania. So I show you the rosy tomato. And what is in the picture there, Rob and I tasted just last night. It's excellent. It's an excellent pink tomato. It's in a bed that's not doing so well, so I'm only getting a handful of these. Otherwise, I'd cut it up and taste it again right now. But the bricks on this was a 5.2, and we gave it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a really, really good tomato. It'll be my honor to with Jen to help share seeds for this rosy tomato and to carry that story. Those of you coming to Carlisle will hopefully get a taste. If not, you'll definitely go home with seeds for the rosy tomato. Thank you, Lisa and Joyce, for giving me a plant for this. These are the types of stories, like Christine's stories, that I just love and that we can share. It's almost like quilting circles, isn't it? Our stories and our seeds, and we can share over time. That's a great story. It had with a very happy ending. I'm sure Rose was just devastated to lose those seeds. And enter Lisa's mom, Joyce. So thanks for Joyce. Thank you for allowing me to grow this. I won't lie, I really wanted to like this, but you guys know I'm honest. Like you see it here on the show. This is a really good tomato, a very good tomato. I'm getting some good pinks this year. Rosie's a good pink. I have an even better one next that I'm going to show you. Another one I really wanted to like. This is one of the ones I got out of the USDA seed bank this year. It's called Beal's Gourmet. How and why this became unavailable, extinct, I do not know. It is probably tied with Hazel Creek for my favorite pink of all time. It's delicious, absolutely delicious. I can't wait. I wanted to upload a picture of me slicing into it. As you can tell from that photo, it is so deep pink on the inside. When Robin was filming me slicing into it, we both go, ooh, it's so deep pink on the inside. It's delicious. The bricks. Oh, shoot. I didn't upload the picture with the bricks. The bricks was like a 6.7 or something insane like that. Do I have? Oh, here's a Beal's Gourmet. Great tomato. Doesn't look like much. It's deceiving. Fruits are around 8 to 10 ounces each. Bright pink. I can't wait to help get this into circulation. Again, I don't know how it got out of circulation. The story goes, it was bred by John Beal back in the 40s, and his daughter is Frances Chasser. That's who developed it. She took his crosses and spent decades perfecting this tomato. And if you look at this document, which you can't read it. I can barely read it. But she would grow 450 plants out each season, selecting the best for disease resistance and all of that stuff to get the perfect tomato. And let me tell you guys, you'd be hard-pressed, in my opinion, to find a more perfect tomato than Beal's Gourmet. This is insanely delicious. I hope to have some of these in Carlisle to taste too. If not, you'll definitely have seeds. Again, I don't know how these things get out of circulation. I do know it was involved in a taste test at Rutgers University not that long ago. If you Google it, I want to say 2017. So somebody's got it. There is a site that sells it, Mercari. Do not get your seeds from there. That is not the Beal's Gourmet. That's a stock red tomato photo. I would never get my seeds from there anyway. But if you are looking for seeds to buy them, you will come up with that. That's not Beal's Gourmet. Do not buy those. Wait, Old South Seeds will be selling them in the fall. I gave seeds to them. Jen and I are growing them also. I think Jen's didn't make it. But just hold off until the fall when Old South Seeds have it. And of course, I'll be sharing seeds eventually also. But please promise me you won't get those seeds. It would kill me to see seeds out in circulation from Mercari that are not Beal's Gourmet, because the real thing is excellent. All right. What's next? Another excellent tomato, and a surprising one. This is the one I'm growing with Rowena. Paratipo cosentino. Let me show you this. The photo that I was showing you guys, that the only photo that was available was this back in the spring. I got seeds from Great Lakes Staples Seed Company a couple years ago, and didn't grow it last year. And then I saw nobody's got it. One seller has it on Seed Savers Exchange, but other than that, it's not in circulation. And they really had no information about it at Great Lakes Staples Seed. They said red globe, regular leaf, stuffer tomato. They said haven't had any luck finding its history. Slightly fluted globe tomato, certainly proved itself worthy, great stuffed. And so it showed these, which looked like a hollow tomato to me. So that's what I was expecting. I was expecting like hollow, light stuffer tomatoes. But that's not really what it is. Yes, you can use it as a stuffed tomato. This is a good tomato, guys. Really good. The Brix is a 7 on this thing. Flavor's outstanding. Lots of seeds and goo, very prolific. Here's another one. I texted Rowena right away after I tasted it. I'm like, boy, are you in for a treat. It's delectable. Now, you could scrape out these seeds and absolutely make it into a stuffing tomato. But let me tell you, it's dense. It is not like a hollow stuffing tomato like I was imagining. It's heavenly. It's absolutely heavenly. It's tomatoey. It's very sweet. Shocking. Shocking. I was chalking this one up to just getting it out into circulation because it wasn't there. Not expecting to like it at all. It's a great tomato. Yum. All right. I'm going to stop eating it so I can save more seeds. Paratipo cosentino. Coming soon to a trade near you. Yeah, 7's a great number. I know. It's crazy, right? Beals Gourmet is one I want. Yes, it is. Beals Gourmet is one you want. I'm dying. I wonder. I need to show you guys this video of me slicing into it. I know things aren't going to show well on my phone. It's annoying that I couldn't show it. Like I couldn't upload it here, but let me see if I can show it on my phone. Oh, I wonder if I could show it on here better. It's like you slice into it and you just know it's good. Is it on my iPad? Not that one. All right, hang on. I'm going to try to show this. Actually, let me. This is me being high tech, and you guys can see this, right? Watch this. Come on. You just know that's good. Nice, right? That's Beals Gourmet. And Rosie looks pretty similar to that too inside, as you saw from the picture. Boy, I'm a lucky girl this year. As many cuckoos as I have, and there's a lot. There's some really delicious tomatoes too. And I won't lie either. I wanted to love Beals Gourmet too. I really did. And Mosage, another one I got out of the National USDA Seed Bank. So I went in wanting to love them both, of course. But you can't lie with that video. You know that tastes good, and it was meaty. Yep. Few seeds, which is a bummer. but so, so good. I know the video says it all. I stole that idea from Kids Seed Company. They always slice in. And I'm like, you know what? As much as I take good pictures, and I know I do, sometimes the video, I took one of Ruby Orr also. Yeah, sometimes it tells the whole story, and I was really glad I took one of that. Okay. Boy, I'm really chatty today. Are we even remotely? Did I miss the trivia question again? I did. We got to do trivia. We need like a song for trivia. Trivia, trivia, trivia. I think this one's going to be easy for you guys. Here we go. What percentage of a tomato is water? A, 65%, B, 75%, C, 85%, or D, 95%? Type in the letter for your answer. You don't win a thing. You just get bragging rights, those that get it in fastest. A, 65%, B, 75%, C, 85%, or D, 95%? What percentage of a fresh tomato is water? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 dun, 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 dun. Oh, Malachi Jen, yes, Beals Gourmet you need in your life. And Rosie, for sure. Sublime. Sublime that Beals Gourmet is. I love my purples, but even this one made me drool. Yeah, I'm kind of new to the loving pinks thing. I think Hazel Creek really did it for me last year. And Abeneus. I loved Abeneus last year too. So I'm growing a lot of pinks this year. That Beals Gourmet's to die for. Okay, how are we doing? I'll say it again. What percentage of a fresh tomato is water? A, 65%, B, 75%, C, 85%, D, 95%. I thought this would be easy. Answers are a little all over the place. Hashtag, are we talking paste tomatoes? Not specified. I don't know if paste tomatoes have any. They probably have less. Just your average run-of-the-mill tomato. Let's say a beefsteak. All right, we ready to see our answers? Ooh, you have Abeneus blushing, can't wait. My plant didn't do great this year. I only got a couple fruits from it, and it petered out on me, but they were good fruits. Uh-oh, I'm hearing thunder, I think. All right, where do I find how to reveal the answer? The answer is, oops. Hang on. Reveal answer. Shoot. Oh no. I've reset the results. Ah. Okay. Back. Shoot. Can I undo that? I don't think I can. All right, well, sorry, whoever was first. The answer is 95%. I thought that would be an easy one for you guys. A tomato is 95% water, which makes it so cool that we're only talking 5% of a tomato is what makes up the flavor, right? The aroma compounds, the sugars, the acid, and all of that. That's only 5% of a tomato. And if you've ever made my tomato crack recipe, which you can find in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, you will know, or you've simmered, you know, tomatoes all day on a stove, you see it. You see it drastically go down. I have a huge roasting pan that was full of tomatoes right up to the top, very deep roasting pan this morning. And it was like halfway down when I checked it a couple hours. By the time I take it out tonight, it'll be down to virtually nothing, 95% water. It's cool, right? So if you do a lot of tastings like Rob and I do, you may or may not have to go to the bathroom all night long because it's a lot of water. I thought it was 90. No, it's 95. 95. It might be subjective. I mean, a paste tomato might have a bit less. Yes, anybody that answered D, you got it. Sorry, somehow I meant to hit reveal results and I hit reset results. So the whoever got it in quick, quick, sorry about no bragging rights for this week. What do you do after the crack when it's done? That's a good question. All kinds of things. First of all, I pick at it, especially the black things. They're like candy. You can save it. You can freeze it like in cubes if you want. I've also used an immersion blender to puree it so it becomes this awesome, really sweet paste. You can throw it into chilies. You can spread it on pizza. Add it to your regular tomato sauce to give it a more concentrated tomato flavor. You can can it. I've canned it before. All kinds of things. Or just eat it. Eat it. Toss it with pasta. To die for. It's kind of like a really, really good and fresh sun-dried tomato. That's in like oil and herbs and stuff. It's delish. It's delish. And it makes the house smell good all day long, too. One of the moderators of my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, I told her about the recipe yesterday, and she's making it today. She's pretty excited about that. All right. Peritipo Cosentino. What's next? What do we have? Limicino. How many more do we have to do? Do I want to do them all today? Where are we at? 12. Don't think I'm going to get to them all today. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll call it a day. I'll do the others next week. Is there anything else I had to taste? Limicino is one that I had on my wish list for a long time. It's a variety from Chile, and I had it in my most wanted a few times, I think. And then a vendor, Lone Crow Farms from here in the United States, popped up, and they started selling it. They only sell like 3 tomatoes, and this is one of them. I think there's a yellow limicino also, and then one that starts with an R. But so I was really happy to get my hands on seeds, and I wanted to grow it. I wish I could remember why I had it on my most wanted. I think I'd heard or read something about it, and it's a really good tomato. Productive, very tomatoey. Brix was a 4.3. We gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Really delicious tomato. Happy with this one. If you're looking for like a good solid red. I've had some good reds this year too, and I'm not a red fan, but we've had a couple good reds. This one and Choiseul, which I got from Jardins de Tomates when they were still shipping to the United States. Very, very rare red. And I'm not normally a fan of reds, to be honest with you. But this is a really good tomatoey red. Happy with this one. You can kind of tell from the interior that's something special too. And this, from the town of Limache in the Valparaiso region, northwest of Santiago in Chile. And then the next one, this was an early taste for me. And as it turns out, I got my seeds from Heirloom Seed House a few years ago. Bola Canison, they call it. And as it turns out, Kids Seed Company is now selling it. Like, we didn't coordinate that at all. That this just went up on their website. They're calling it Bola Yucatan Canison. Yucatan is where it's from. It is the same tomato. And I have one right here. Boy, is this productive. Kids Seed Company says it's a rare and very flavorful tomato from Mexico on the Yucatan. Very sweet and juicy, have fruity flavors. That Brix is a 5.0. Pretty good. Let's taste. I've got so many of these. We'll taste another one now. Haven't tasted it in a while. A little overripe. Yeah, it's a little overripe, but still tasty. Still very tasty. I didn't write down what we reviewed it. I think it was a 7 out of 10. I was hoping for a little bit more, but I liked it. Yeah, it's another tasty red. But again, that's overripe. I don't like to really review tomatoes that are overripe. That's not exactly fair. If you would like to order this from Kids Seed Company, I have the link to that also. They're also selling a few that I gave them. There's now Kids Seed Company is also selling Hazel Creek tomato, which I've mentioned a few times today. I love it. Abanias, which I mentioned a few minutes ago, from Spain, a pink that I loved from last year. And my banana swar too. They just started selling that. All right. I said I was going to do two more. Let's do one more because some of you have been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. This is Fiona. Now, it may not look like the Fiona that I've shown on the show because there's some confusion, apparently. It's not exactly the Fiona I thought it was going to be initially. I got seeds from Julia from Tomatenwelt in Germany. This is very overripe, but I was sharing on my garden tour yesterday. They're all kind of getting a little bit mushy and they're not turning pink. These are Julia's pictures on there. It's not me. She's getting a Brix of 6.4. I have not tasted them yet. I thought I would slice into it. This is bred by Olga Degtyaryeva. I apologize, Olga, from Russia. Let's check this out. Okay, it's got a little bit of pink inside, right at the bottom there. I was hoping slicing it again, I'd get more pink, but not really. Not really. Let's taste it. Ooh. Ooh. This is unexpected. They're definitely a little overripe, but these are super sweet. Let's take a Brix. Huh. 5.7. I would have thought it was more based on how sweet it tastes. Hang on. Got to get paper towels for this one. Ooh. If I can get this where they're not mushy, this is going to be a great tomato. It tastes like a really good green when ripe. Lots of flavor. It's just a little mushy. It seems like they're going on my plant from like hard as a rock to mushy. And it's not like I'm not staring them down waiting for them either. So I'll have to wait. There's a lot on the plant still to come. Okay. There we go. That's Fiona. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Shrek came out last year, apparently, which looked similar to this, but I didn't think it had the pink. I don't think it had the pink in it. But there's a whole other website that has a Shrek and a Fiona that look totally different. They're not shaped like this. They're like beefsteaks and they're tricolor and probably a lot of filters on it and stuff. So I don't know what's going on with all of that. But yeah, this is a good one. I want to grow more GWRs next year. Smart move. There's some really good ones out there. The tomato crack recipe is in the group. It's in two places in the group, actually. If you go in our group guides, there's a tab at the top of the group. If you guys don't know what the group is, it's Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap on Facebook. We're a community, not a group, but technically a group. In the guides, we have if you scroll down, we have all kinds of guides, breeder resource sheets, things on disease and breeding and all of that. There's a guides for recipes. My tomato crack recipe is in there. There's also a tab, I think only if you're using a phone, at the top of the group that says files. And there's some PDF files in there. And I think it's the very last one, probably one of the earliest things we posted. You can find it in there also. I need a GWR that isn't going to take forever like Aunt Ruby's German Green. You know what I'm going to grow again next year, I think? Chinese Princess. Grew it a couple years ago. Really, really liked it. You can get seeds at Secret Seed Cartel. And I haven't grown it in a few years. I think I'm going to grow Malachite Box again. I'm going to go back to my initial original Malapine seeds and try to grow that again too, because what I'm getting this year is not what I got last year. Oh, did you just say that before I said it? I grew Chinese Princess this year and loved it. Ah, yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. That seemed to get better for me as the season went on, Chinese Princess. Yeah. All right, gang, I'm going to leave it at that. I've got another one I want to talk about, but I want more time to talk about it. Another really good one that I'm excited about, that I know you're going to be excited about. So we've had some hits, we've had some misses today. That's the way the cookie crumbles, as my mom always said. All right, and that's the world of tomatoes. Let's give away some prizes, shall we? Everybody got their hashtag tomato in? All right, so the first couple, you're going to private message me. Do I owe prizes to a lot of people? Yes, I do. Do I know this? Yes, I do. Do I have it all written down here? Yes, I do. So if you win and you're like, I'll never see those seeds because Lauren, I know I'm months behind, but it's tomato season. I get to it, and I always make it worth your while. I always add in extras. So the first couple are going to come to me because Kids Seed Company and Meraki sent the seeds to me. So Kids Seed Company, the first prize is going to 2 people. You're getting each a packet of St. Vincent de Paul and Reunion Island Tropical Cherry, which are these that I tasted at the beginning of the episode and are super yummy. All right, where's my giveaway tool? Here we go. I hope you guys plan on being here next Thursday. That's when we've rescheduled with Craig LaHoulier. Jen and I are going to be here instead of Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. It's going to be Tomato Talk Live with Craig. Be there or be square. It's going to be the highlight of the tomato season for everybody. Tell your friends if they're not affiliated with Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, not on my channel. Make sure you tell your other tomato friends to make sure to tune in. It's going to be very informative and important. Okay, let me reset this. So this one you're private messaging me. The first one for... I need another pen. I have more of these ultra-fine Sharpie retractables are all over my house. I use them for everything. And they do tend to run out. So GD, congratulations, Gigi. And next one. This was a fun show, wasn't it? No groundhog showing up at the windows or anything. The cats have been well behaved. Larissa, congratulations, Larissa. I think I owe both of you seeds already. And thank you, Kids Seed Company, for your donations. You guys are always so generous. And thanks for mailing me tomatoes, too. That was a nice positive. Okay, next one's Meraki seeds for 2 people. You're getting the Meraki's Green Boy Microdwarf seeds. Again, come to me for these. First one. Very good. Congratulations, Kelly. And number 2. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Janet, congratulations, Janet. Congratulations to you both. Okay, next one is Kim Wallace. Kim Wallace is giving away some seeds today. Thank you, Kim, if you're still watching. For those of you that win, she's got 2 interesting packets. Well, I'll tell you about in a minute. You can private message Kim. It's KYM. She's calling these, she's giving 2 prize packages away. She's calling it No Seed Saving, Just Snacking. These are all F1 hybrids. And she was thinking in this craziness of the season right now where everybody's saving seeds and all of that, she thought it might be nice to give people really delicious F1 hybrids that you can just snack and enjoy and not have to worry about seed saving. I have to say things like that I'm loving right now, like Uma Mini. These are F1 hybrids that I love. It really is kind of nice to not worry about saving seeds because, I mean, I could save seeds, but I'd rather not. I'd rather people get the F1 hybrids because you don't know what you're going to get the next season. So as it turns out, her prize number one has that Uma Mini in it. Uma Mini is this great little cherry that I'm growing this year. You can't get them in the United States. Looks like just like a teardrop kind of. It's delicious. I thought it was like good at the beginning of the season, but at the end of the season, it's great. It's really great. It's got a Brix of over 10, I think. So she's got that, Melt Away, Summer Dew, and Fantasio. Those are all in prize package number one. And that goes to... I like her thinking on this with the F1 hybrids. There is nothing wrong with F1 hybrids. Boy, after tasting Umamin this year, congratulations to you. You can private message Kim. And her second prize package, again, is all F1 hybrids. Something called Rainbow Drops Mix, which has Brix of 8, and it's red, yellow, and orange mix. Something called Toddler, which has a Brix of 10. Iridescent, and Orange Wellington. And this goes to Lynette Earth. Congratulations, Lynette. You can private message Kim and she'll get those out to you. And thank you very much, Kim, for your donation today. Next one is our friend Olivia Lai, who's giving away one prize package. She gives away a prize package every single week. Crimson Sunset Dwarf Chinook, Chocolate Beefsteak, Captain Lucky, delicious beefsteak if you've never grown it. Cherokee Tiger Black Dwarf, Cossack Russian Early Black, Wild Time Purple, Cowboy, and DB Cooper. Where's Olivia's name? There she is. And this goes to... Jean G24. Congratulations, Jean. You can contact Olivia, private message her. If you're not in the Facebook community and you can't private message somebody, you can certainly email me. My email address should be on the YouTube channel, but just in case, here's my email address. All right, next one, 2 prizes from Teresa Begin. Thank you, Teresa. She's giving away Mazora, yum, Gobstopper, Dwarf Purple Heart, Jarson 5, yum, Malapine, yum. Thank you. For 2 people, you can reach out to Teresa. Where's her name? Here we go. First one. Marie 48, congratulations. And the second one. It's not too much of a mess down there today. I think I tasted a lot more last week. Oh, gotta redraw. Can't win that one twice, but I would play the lottery if I were you. I played the lottery, by the way. I never played the lottery, but we had some kind of Powerball thing my friend told me about, and she's like, she made me go to the gas station. Congratulations. She made me go after pickleball on Monday night. She's like, you have to go. It's like $1 billion. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? And she's like, Powerball, double ball, blah, blah, blah. She said, just tell them Powerball with all the bells and whistles. So that's exactly what I did. And we lost. But apparently nobody won that night, and I was supposed to play again last night maybe, and I didn't. So congratulations. Somebody in Illinois won it. Congratulations. All right, that's it, gang. That's it for me. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I will be doing my, if all goes well, assuming all goes well, I will be doing my tour again on Wednesday, and then next week's show with Craig. Don't forget that. Mark your calendars for that. And Carlisle coming up for our East Coast tasting. Have a lot of these delicious tomatoes to taste. And thank you all for watching. I have such fun with you every week. You're all so much fun to hang out with for a couple hours. And I know you could spend your time doing a lot of other things, so I appreciate the fact that you do it with me. Until next time, peace and love. Get your gratitude on and go grow tomatoes. Bye, everybody.